had just gone to college in Connecticut, and my family was in Pennsylvania, and they were coming up for Parents' Weekend in the fall. And I said, Jesus, this is wonderful. You know, everybody wants to come see me. I didn't want to come see me. You know, they were looking at H.O. Penn. My family acquired H.O. Penn in 1965. 1921, Ginsburg Penn was put together. Their first operation was down in the Wall Street area. Ham Penn bought Ginsburg out, and that's then led to the founding of H.O. Penn Machinery Company in 1923. Things were going well. H.O. Penn was able to do reasonable amounts of business even during the Depression. And then we got to World War II.
Bulldozers could be used to crush machine gun nests, could be used to repair bombed out roads, build airfields. It was on the front lines, it would be shot up pretty badly. It would be sent back to us. So we did a lot of that repair work, flipped it around and sent it back out there to help the war effort. My grandfather was a heavy highway contractor when Hamilton Penn passed away just after World War II. He loved the contracting business, but he loved equipment even more.
My father actually went to Caterpillar with his brother, and they were in business together, and asked Caterpillar if H.O. Penn was available. Caterpillar said, well, we have management in there, but we do have this new opportunity in central Pennsylvania. And so in 1948, they formed Cleveland Brothers.
When I started, Caterpillar was allocated to dealers in a very limited way. The salesman would show up and say, I've got a D8 coming in next week. It's the only one I'm going to get for 2 months. Do you want it? The price never entered the discussion. It was, yeah, I need that machine. That was my first encounter.
I didn't know anybody. I was a nobody. I went in there like nervous. Like, holy shit, this is a big company. You know, like, what am I going to do? It's like, God. So I ordered my backhoe, the first backhoe. It was a big purchase, a lot of money. You're nervous, but they made it really super easy, super nice. Did all the paperwork, you know. A couple weeks later, machine shows up. She shows up in your yard. Like, wow, this is fantastic. This is easy, you know. And it happens every single time that way.
This business runs sometimes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You've got to have a devotion to the business. You look at our loaders, they're all cats. If you look at our graders, they're all cats. All of our dozers are cats, and they all came from H.O. Penn. They did it right.
Back in the early 90s, when we started the technology division, we were really starting to gain steam and momentum with data centers to the point where we went out for a national contract with Caterpillar and H.O. Penn, and they became our go-to vendor for a whole multitude of clients around the country.
A data center cannot go down. If the local utility happens to fail, the data center must stay on. Our generators that we provide is that backup. Without power, there is no internet, there is no data center.
Pretty much anywhere you point to in New York City has got our generator sets. And the generator sets throughout Long Island or in Connecticut and north of the city. And all of that expanded dramatically over the years.
When you see the New York City skyline, you're going to know that the bulk of those skyscrapers, those buildings, were actually excavated with Caterpillar equipment.
Whether it's the subways, whether it's the bridges, our customers are working in all of those areas.
The challenge is getting the machine to the site. The machine actually has to be assembled on site. And if you can imagine what that's like, moving a 170,000-pound excavator through New York City streets, it's challenging.
The highest amount of pride that I have for this company is our ability to put every hand on deck to respond to whatever local emergency will occur.
As a result of Sandy, H.O. Penn helped us get up and running and never stopped, while the rest of downtown we watched flood out and lose power and be out for months.
It's basically in our DNA. We're so used to when a storm's coming or there's an outage, our people jump right into it. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
When 9/11 happened, you know, and the tragedy of the towers coming down, and there was an enormous amount of need for different types of equipment to be down there. And our technicians really stepped up and were able to work, you know, countless long shifts to be able to keep the machines running, to keep the effort going.
make you feel like it's not a big company, like we're here to help you. And they do. You know, if you got a problem, they'll help you figure it out. And I've needed their help quite a few times, and they've always come through.
Recently, we had buying some paving equipment from H.O. Penn, and it was unavailable. And they said, we can't find it. And I said, hey, I'm telling you, I have paving to start, and I need it for that date. They came, they got it. And those are things you remember.
Our willingness as an organization to embrace the change that's required to do things differently, and to keep up with a ever-expanding, faster-paced environment, that's going to continue to require us to figure out how to do things faster and better and more efficiently. That will never change.
I'm very proud of the legacy of H.O. Penn. Few companies can say that they're as old as we are, 100 years old. And I think a lot of that has to do with how we have managed to serve our customers over those years. And we do that by taking care of our employees. We do the best job for our customers that they can. And I'm looking forward to handing this off to the next generation at some point so they can continue to do the same thing.